we're back after a little hiatus, a little bit of a political break to regain our sanity and anything else that we need to deal with the presidency, because it's just oh so fun. Oh so fun. Oh so. That's another name for a bear. Oh boy. Okay, so let's get back into it. Yesterday, the stock market crashed. It didn't really crash. Let's face it. It went down 600 points. Is that a lot? I think it was actually 800, right? It was a mix. 6 to 800 points. And the answer is it's higher than it was. It's dropped significantly, likely due to Trump's declaration of tariffs. So then the next question you have to ask yourself is, when he finally starts pissing off the money enough, when do you think they're going to turn on him? The Fox News ticker was pretty interesting to me because it started showcasing all of his stock market droppings. That's funny. Stock market losses while he was talking. Kind of really emphasizing the point here. And that's Fox News, by the way. That's one of the most loyal, ass-kissing, Trump ass-licking networks there are. So, it's an interesting thing. And I got to admit, I have a guilty pleasure of going and checking out conservative forums. And, man, that Kool-Aid is strong. So, I guess my philosophy with all of this has been, at first I was angry. I mean, I was worried about this before it even happened, but, I was angry, and now I'm at the point where it's like, yeah, okay, this is happening, and let it happen, because these fucking people have to learn, and his base, the ones that are going to be hurt the most by this, is exactly that. Those poor people who voted for him are the ones that are going to be really screwed in the end. I mean, Canada just said they're happily shut off the power to the United States. Western New York is pretty red. That's where I'm from. And they got some pretty conservative, staunch conservative beliefs out that way. I hope that they're ready for it, because people who fail to see this stuff, it's coming. I don't think... I'm still optimistic that there's no military being used. I'm still optimistic that we're not going to have to doomsday prep, but yeah, we've definitely lost a lot of confidence. We've lost a lot of that soft power. We're going to lose a lot of that hard power pretty soon. I mean, I'm really curious how anybody, how do you justify pulling out of Ukraine? First of all, we know appeasement doesn't work. Whoever believes that appeasement doesn't work hasn't studied history, or appeasement works hasn't studied history, because the last time we tried appeasement, yeah, the time before we tried appeasement, yeah, that failed too. Just go and look back, because dictators love having things given to them, and that makes them stronger. So, let's just give Ukraine to Russia. No, that really... That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. Not to mention, I mean, I know people don't read, so they wouldn't know, but that we agreed to protect Ukraine for their disarmament. They said, we'll disarm nuclear weapons and you'll protect us. Gee, that rings really familiar to the United States breaking all of its oaths and treaties and things that it agreed to do. I'm not familiar with any of that. That's sarcasm, by the way. So yeah, the little people, the poor people, the regular people, we're gonna suffer. They're all gonna have to suffer, and it's gonna be a necessary evil, because they didn't want to do the work. They didn't want to listen. They didn't want to do in-depth research. You guys didn't want to study fucking history. So yeah, good luck. We're all going to have to suffer for it. Oh, and by the way, anybody who's like, I'm moving to Canada, I'm moving out of here, I'm going to leave. Fuck you too, by the way. First of all, fuck Trump, fuck Vance, Fuck all of his sycophants, Bondi, Musk, Hegseth, any of those people. I'm going to say it over and over again. Fuck them. But anybody who decides to leave, fuck you too. Because it's so cool when everything's going right, right? It's so cool, but when shit starts hitting the fan, you want to take off and fucking run, you're just as bad. Oh, I'm going to leave the United States. That means you got enough money to run to another country. So I don't know if you necessarily represent a lot of us who couldn't just pack up and leave, or are faced with that, or maybe are true patriots and believe what words really stood for and are willing to still defend those to this day. If you take off and run, you're still part of the problem. You're not helping solve it. Well, you're going to come back when things are nicey? You're going to come back when it's all fixed and be like, wow, I'm so proud of everybody? Yeah, get fucked. You're a piece of shit, too. Now, I'm not advocating for suffering. Let's go back, rewind here for a minute. I don't like it when people suffer. I don't like it when anything suffers, because really, honestly and truly, that means a lot of innocent things are going to suffer. Innocent people, innocent children, innocent animals, innocent things will suffer. They don't deserve it. They definitely don't. But unfortunately, the world is a hard place. And it takes strong people to ensure that it's not so hurtful. And unfortunately, we don't have strong people in charge. Strong people don't act the way that they act. They're so jazzed up to put on a strong front. I killed a puppy because it wasn't fetching. I'm in charge here. You listen to me. You thank me. When have you ever thanked us? Well, we did thank you. But even then, you'd understand that you have the upper hand in that negotiation, and that's not the way that you win that negotiation. I mean, that was negotiation failure 101 if it was ever supposed to be a negotiation, which, I mean, we all know that it's a farce in the first place. But even if Zelensky had fell on his knees and groveled, that would be an interesting sight. Would the leader of the free world getting on his knees and groveling, just kidding, not the leader of the free world, but would Zelensky getting on his knees and groveling to Trump have made a difference? I'm pretty sure the answer is nope, not one bit, because they had that shit pre-planned out. But even so, why would you want to see that? That sounds like torture porn for fucking conservatives. And they probably want to see it. They love it, but nobody else does. Because the rest of us are secure enough with ourselves that we don't have to reduce people to crying and begging to try and save their country from an unjust invasion and war that people are dying from. Have you ever been to Ukraine? I've seen it in Google. That's proof positive right there that shows you what a strong man and a weak man look like. So yeah. Anyway, let's get back to you, dear listener. Single one of you, single digit listeners. Again, I would just say that, like, it's so difficult to try to read the future, right? It's so difficult to think about where you need to go, because most people, I think, and myself included, have this vague notion. Next year, I want to buy a boat. I don't really know what kind or where from. We don't get that detailed in the things that we think about. We honestly, truly just want to do certain things and be happy with it. I don't really want to have to worry about that too much. I want to enjoy my life. That's why I'm going to vote for Trump, because he seems like a strong person. Well, you fucked up. And right now, you might be thinking, well, I need to go buy a gun, need to protect myself, need to doomsday prep. I think you need to just be prepared. I keep saying this. Go for a run. Get back into running. You know? Be prepared. think a civil war would definitely be an interesting thing in terms of where we draw the boundary lines between ourselves and our neighbors, especially being surrounded by that, blue cities, red states, purple lines. And I think America can come back again. You gotta start fixing the problems right away. I mean, Vance and Trump aren't it. Trump's not it. I mean, we know that, but if Trump were to miraculously, let's say, step aside, I don't think Vance is gonna do a bang up job of leading us into the free world when he was pretty much lockstep with the concepts and ideas, and jumped into that conversation, no questions asked. He wanted to be thanked. He needed to be thanked. His wife doesn't thank him enough. Anyway. Yeah. Stay positive out there, peeps. Stay positive. We can do this.